potato bread, beans, breakfast before the studio, but it's late. I've got an hour and 5 minutes to be at the studio and I still haven't loaded the kit into the car. This is a proper rehearsal studio. Yeah. The drum kit makes it out of the garage. Let's see if I can build this fucker and make it work, and then we'll unpack the Analogue beast. So, here we go. Blah blah. Got a C1000 over the top. SM57 on the snare. And my Bayer on the kick. It's all running into jacks because that's all this old 4-track has. Drummer next door hopefully won't be making too much noise for me. We'll be recording this onto 1 track down here, and yeah. Well, that's taken me about an hour to do that drum track. I think I got it right. I did 2 takes on different tracks, so I can choose one of them, but then the other one has to get erased and it'll be gone. So there's a couple of little mistakes in both of them, but I think the last one that I did was a little bit better. Just it was in the groove more. So now number 2. We'll see how we get on, because again it's I can't really remember the song. I should have done homework a bit better. So yeah, ditched the mic on the snare just because it was causing problems because of it, and I don't really need it anyway. You know, you're getting enough crack of the snare off of the single overhead, and you know, I mean by rights I should just be using 1 microphone on this, just, you know, to make it a little bit more true to what it's supposed to be. But you know, 2 microphones, that's still one of the most simple ways you can make a drum kit. So here we go. We just got the Bayer just dead in front and centre, and then the overhead. So I don't know, for this second track I might move the kick back a bit, just see if I get a bit of a bigger sound. Take some of, why don't we take that out for a start, and you know, let's move this back, and you know, just about a metre or so, and then we'll see if that gives us a bit of a bigger sound. Maybe, I don't know if it will or not. Yeah, and this is the first time I've played this drum kit properly, I think, really well, for an extended period of time, because I never, you know, it sits in storage all the time. This is the first time I've really played it in anger. Drummer from my former band, World Before Wireless, played it at a couple of gigs and rehearsals. Sneaky bit of recording in my garage for half an hour, which pissed the neighbours off no end, I'm sure. Taking the front head off, forgot to mention that. Yeah, so it's looking alright at the minute. I'm going to go to the toilet and yeah. Yeah, it's looking pretty good for now. So we will see how we get on, and see how this trusty old 4-track down here does when we start laying down other tracks and see how it gets to a mix. But for now, toilet. First, lunch. Forgot about lunch. Let's get some calories in me. There's a piano in here, which is quite cool. Joanna. Ooh. I wish I could play. So, yeah, recording drums today. This is a little project I'm doing, kind of kicked off by my time in Chinspinner, which was is still a pretty cool stoner rock band, stoner metal. I don't know, a little bit proggy sometimes. But yeah, mostly stoner, just heavy rock. And I left that band. I played drums in it badly, still play drums badly. But I kind of had a couple of little riffs inspired by my time in Chinspinner. And I also had an old 4-track lying around doing nothing. And I thought, it is the perfect type of music to put onto tape. Analogue recording process, and you know, I thought, why not get use out of my old 4-track? It was being neglected in storage, so it's not in the best of shapes. My drum kit was also in storage, not in the best of shapes. It's all right though, just needs a bit of a clean up really. So I decided to take the challenge of putting together a couple of songs and you know, trying to record them on the 4-track, and the rules were very simple, that it all had to go on the 4-track without excessive bouncing and things, you know, just use the 4-track, nice and simple, try to get as decent a sound as I could, so which obviously limits me in terms of the microphones I can use, so there's only a couple of different, you know, I only have a couple of condenser microphones, and I only have one of them that doesn't require phantom power, which is the AKG 1000, because you can run that off of a battery. So the basic idea was limit the equipment that I could use, which actually kind of, you know, gives you more time and you can put a bit more thought into things, and you can relax rather than, you know, if I had to come here with my full recording setup, I would have spent an extra hour or more trying to get a drum sound, because you've got maybe between half a dozen and a dozen microphones to check and try to get right. Whereas here I've got two. I've got one overhead and one on the floor in front of the kick drum. And yeah, so prior to today, I've just booked out. Prior to today, I just planned out the tracks. So I recorded demos on my laptop in Studio One, and the idea of that was to actually structure the track, create an arrangement for it, but also do it to a click track. And all I did was played that basic track with the arrangement and the click track onto a track on the 4-track, so that I've got a guide to play along to, so I can play in time. And that's the only computer usage that I will have until the end, whenever I inevitably have to take what's on the tape. When I mix it down, it's going to have to go into the digital domain, otherwise no one will hear it. No one will listen to it once I do that, probably, but you know, at least they'll be able to hear it. And yeah, that'll be it really. So after today, it'll be guitar, bass and vocals, if I put vocals on. I don't have a very good voice for this type of music, so you know, maybe I'll ask someone to do something for me. Who knows? And then maybe try to get a bit creative with trying to add in some more guitar or something, and see if, you know, try and bounce tracks around. and share tracks between maybe vocals and a lead guitar or something like that, and just see how we can use the equipment as best we can to get the best result we can. And yeah, hopefully it'll be all right. Hopefully someone will like it. Even, you know, the sound is not going to be amazing, but I think it'll be pretty. Just listening back, listening to all the mistakes I made. It sounds pretty good, I think. For kick drum's maybe a bit loud, but it's a bit late for that now. But it's so big in fact, isn't it? Great. Now I have to tidy up. Started getting. This is the worst part, to tidy up. So I got a whole half hour of my session booked here. Whole half hour left. More maybe. It's all for tidying up, which is a fucking pain in the arse. What can you do? The joys of hiring a studio.